All right, we are live right now, and we're gonna start in a few more minutes. So, just gonna play a little bit of intro sound as we wait for a couple more people to join us. I want to believe that you are sharing the video because that's how we can reach more people. So please do try and share the video as I speak now because this is a very interesting topic, you know. So do share the video as we move forward, and I'm gonna wait for you to share the video as I put on my earpiece. Yes, share the video right now. That way we can definitely have a good time discussing what we got to discuss today. We have, like I said, we have a very interesting topic, and so it would be a good idea if you don't choose to listen only by yourself. You know, it will be good. So why don't you click on the share button right now? Share the video right now, and we will begin in a minute. Share the video right now. I'm waiting on you to share. Yes, I believe you can share. So click on the share button. We want to have an interactive discussion too. So as you share, I also want to ask that you also participate in the discussion. We're going to go through a few things, and I would definitely love your input, your questions, your comments, and everything of the sort. That way we can have a wonderful time together. So again, I'm asking you to share the video right now. Yes, I'm waiting for you. Just click the share button and let's move forward. Yes, I hope you are ready to share. I know you know we have to share. That way we can have a good time together. Yeah, invite your friends, share on your page, click comment, click like, because once you click the like button, it tells the algorithm that this is something more people are interested in. So click on the like button and also definitely share so that we will have a good time together. All right, so before we begin, I just want to remind you of what we started a few weeks ago. Last week, I think last couple of weeks, we started a live series. The first time we had a discussion with my wife in terms of why we need to take a rest. Everybody needs a rest, right? And then we followed that up the following Sunday with a discussion on why we should not be alone. All these are based on the fact that we want your, what do you call it? We want you to have good health. And for good health to happen, you definitely need to take vacation. Apart from that, you also need definitely to, as we discussed yesterday, I'm sorry, on last week's show, you need definitely to stay connected to people. You cannot be by yourself. You cannot just live in isolation for any reason. Even if people hurt you, you definitely need people around you all the time. And so my discussion with Pastor Desmond Ado was focusing on, though people may hurt you. I mean, we talked at length about how much people can be evil. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you go back and look for it, because people can definitely hurt you. But does that mean that you cut off your contacts with everybody? We saw in our discussion a lady that passed away and was not found for 2.5 years, almost 3 years. This lady was not seen. Why? The reason was that she was completely disconnected from everybody in her life. She did not have family checking on her, and even in her apartment complex where she was, nobody was interested in checking and making sure that she was doing okay. And she passed away in an apartment complex. This was in a lonely house in some kind of a street where nobody goes, in an apartment complex, and yet nobody bothered to check if the lady was okay. So we learned last week that you definitely need to connect with people, regardless of how much people may hurt you. It is to your advantage not to be by yourself. You definitely need people in your life, no matter what people may do. We are encouraged, as we discussed, to be connected. If you want to know more about that story, again, check back on our video, which we had last week, where we actually showed a picture of a lady and the details of that led to her passing away. And definitely share with people, somebody you know who is being a loner because they were hurt by other people, including family members. Share the video, watch it. That's the whole point, that people may learn something out of these. So today our topic is also going to be something that is linked to our health, and we have titled it The Health Benefits of Positive Thinking. The health benefits of positive thinking. As you know, we want to always link things that we do with health, because on this channel we believe that it should be well with your body, it should be well with your soul, and it should be well with everything else concerning your life. So it said, beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. So we're going to link every discussion we have here on this channel to the health and the benefits of your health. So we're going to talk about life issues of various kinds. Like we started with rest, and we talked about not being alone last week, and today we are talking about the benefits of being positive, or having positive thoughts. So it is all linked to our overall being, and that is what we want to focus on our channel. So yes, stay tuned, and I just want you to, if you haven't shared the video, if you have joined, share the video or comment and like the video. So commenting and liking the video definitely makes the algorithm see that people want to watch it and they share it more. So that is what we're going to be doing today. Yes, I'm waiting for you to click like and click the comment or click the share button to share with other people. All right, so let's move on to our topic. And our topic today, as I said earlier, is the health benefits of positive thinking. The health benefits of positive thinking. Most people already know that it's good to have positive thoughts, right? Most people know that it's definitely a good thing to have positive thoughts. But have you ever thought about the fact that thinking positive or having positive thoughts is definitely linked to your overall well-being, and in particular to your health? It's a serious thing. Many people who are taking medications today for some ailments may be able to get off their medicines if they can deal with the mind, if they can deal with the thoughts that they have. I'm not saying stop your medications. No, you definitely need to take them. But most of the ailments, some of the ailments at least, can be completely controlled by the way we think, by thinking positive, having positive outlook, and ensuring that your life is full of positivity. And as we're going to learn, we are not just going to be talking about thinking positive and just thinking positive, because everybody knows thinking positive is good, right? But then we have also realized people have also taken the idea of thinking positive onto a whole new level. They do not do anything else. All they do is thinking positive. They don't move on with life with anything. All they do is just think positive. They have nothing else in their lives that is linked to any actions that can lift them up from poverty, from disease, from failure, or from anything of the sort. All they got is thinking positive, and that in itself may not be enough. So much as we want to talk about thinking positive, we also want to talk about the things that you should do apart from thinking positive to realize your goals in life and to achieve success in your life. All right, so we're going to hit on that, and I'm sorry for the background noise right now. We just want to make sure that we delve deep, and I just need you to comment, because if you don't comment, we don't know how you're receiving it. So you comment, you share, you like the video, and those are some of the things that would definitely ensure that we are doing good, in terms of reaching more people, and also knowing that we have hit some, some buttons in you because you responded to something we said. All right. So yes, let's go on with the stream now. And I made some slides. So the health benefits of thinking positive. But the first thing we want us to do is we want to talk about. Let me just add my presentation slide here before we switch to that. What we want to do is that we want to ensure that we have a mindset that is definitely linked to a way that will make sure that we do not do anything anyhow, right? We want to have a mindset of positivity, something that will ensure that we are living on a positive. We are definitely focused on doing things the way that we're supposed to do, rather than just doing things anyhow. And I just want to, if you want to allow me a minute, I'm just going to open a file, and we will definitely look at this. So it is something that we definitely need to be aware of. We definitely need to think positive. We definitely need to have everything concerning us be positive. All right, so let me see how I can get this file up. As I fiddle through it, I just want you to share the video. If you haven't shared it already, I need you to share. I need you to ensure that we are doing what we have to do. Make sure you like, and also make sure you are in complete agreement or disagreement, whatever we do. Just show your mind, right? We want to see how much you have also been thinking about this subject, the health benefits of thinking positive. All right. So what is, before I get this file open, I just want to draw out a question there. What is positive? What is, if you think about thinking positive, or the health benefits of thinking positive, there are two key words in there, right? The first one is being positive yourself. What is being positive? And then we also want to ask the question, what is thinking, or what are thoughts and what are positive things? And then once we understand those two, we can definitely merge them into a way that will definitely give us an understanding of what we want to do here. All right, so let me see if I can get this here. Give me 1 minute here now. All right, let's see. It's like my system is giving me a little bit of a problem here, but let me move on here. Give me a minute right now. All right. So basically, when we say something is positive, what does it mean? According to my dictionary, I think being positive is having an outlook on life that definitely gives you a sense of, basically an absence of negativity. And it is very difficult to just say that somebody should think positive when, they definitely are facing some negative stuff, or when things are not going on right? But definitely we have to do something that always focuses on the path of positivity. Now, let me go to my dictionary here if I can. First of all, let's talk about what is thought. Thought is an idea, right? An idea or a notion, a line of thinking or belief, a concept, or conception, a conviction, an opinion, a view, an impression, an image, a perception, a mental picture, an assumption. All these are big words that describe thought. We say thinking positive, right? So if we say somebody should have positive thought because it benefits their health, what does it mean to think? What does it mean to think? So if you can go a few more of the keywords, is your concept of life. What is your concept of life? How do you formulate ideas about issues? You know, you have to be in an area or in a place where you can always get positive out of things. So the way you see things, the way you think must not be somebody who is always looking at the negative side. Now that is basically the simplest way I should say it. Your concept, you're conceptualizing things. If you have to bring two things that are, one here, one there, bring them together. What makes it work for you? How do you think? How do you see things? Do you visually just look at things as though they are of no effect, negative all the time, always looking on the bad side of things? Or are you one that can bring some positivity in every situation when even things are very bad, when life is not going on well, when you see that everybody is failing and your surroundings and everything is telling you otherwise? What do you see? That is what thinking is, how you bring yourself to understand all those things. So that is one. And your mental picture, your thoughts is also your mental picture. If you formulate a thought, it means you have a mental picture that you definitely have, that basically informs the way you do your things. The way you do your things, how you do your things, your mental picture, how your pictorial view of life, I should say. If somebody has a full glass of water, we can all say it's full, right? If it is half full, do you always see the glass as half full, or do you always say that it is half empty? So that understanding, that the way what you bring to the table when you picture things, that is the way you think, and that can inform everybody, or in fact your immediate folks. It can inform people how you are, and most of the time the way we think actually shows how we are. So that is very, very important. The way we think. How do you think? What do you see about life? How are the things that make you move? What are some of the things that make you move? What do they do? Are you always moved by negative, or are you able to take something positive out of negative situations? What is your thought process? Are you linked with the fear and the flight kind of life? Is everything scary to you? Or do you see opportunities in places where people may be afraid or scared? The way you think, the pictorial understanding of life, whether it is about marriage, whether it is about work, whatever it is, the way you see life is what will make everybody know whether or not you are thinking positive. All right, so I think I'm having a difficult time bringing my slides up, but I'm going to make sure that I get it as we move forward. So that is thinking, your concept of life, your pictorial understanding of issues, the way you do your things, the way and manner you respond to life's issues and situations, how people can tell, or what people can tell, the vibes you share. What kind of vibes do you usually share? When people come around you, are they full of joy, or do they leave sad? If people come around you and they leave sad, you are projecting an image of negativity. You are projecting an image that shows that you are lacking something in life. And understand me, because I'm not hereby saying that you don't have problems. I'm not saying that you don't have issues. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you can have problems, all right. You can have issues, all right. But to affect your health, for you to benefit in your health, there's got to be a way of you trying hard to think positive. And as we are on the side of thinking now, thinking is basically your ability to put 1, 2, 3 things together and get some image out which shows positivity, which shows hope, which shows joy, which shows that in spite of where you may be in life, there's still a way for you out. That is the kind of thing we want to drive ourselves at. But I want to let me see if I can, take out my presentations from a different route right here on my iPad. The other thing, as we talk about thinking, is what is positive. When we say positive, what is positive? According to the dictionary, if you talk about positive things, let me just bring my dictionary up here so that I will not just beat about the bush. I want to make sure that we get the right things in place. So positive, to be positive is, according to my dictionary, to have an affirmative, favorable response to issues, to be approving of things, not of anything, but of course of good things. That's to be positive. To be constructive, to be positive is to be constructive, to have constructive mindset, to have a mindset that is enthusiastic. To be positive means you are enthusiastic. You bring some kind of light in every situation. That is being positive. Okay, to be positive is being constructive, meaning that you can criticize, all right, but you are not criticizing just to condemn. You are being constructive, positive. And to be positive also means you are being supportive. Being supportive. You support issues that are around that needs to be supported. That's being positive. A positive person may see something that everybody rejects, or see somebody that everybody rejects, and make something good out of that thing. Positive. Today, where I church, the preacher man was talking about the Good Samaritan story in the Bible called the Good Samaritan, right? We had this man that was robbed. This man was robbed, and almost to the point of death, he was left on the roadside. The priest came by and walked along. He was a priest. He probably needed to go to church and preach at that time because he was running late. He just moved along. The Levite also came, who also belonged to the priestly clan, also went by. And as the preacher man was saying, probably because maybe because of the blood and stuff, how the in the olden days, the holy and rituals that have to be done, he probably couldn't touch the man because the man was probably bleeding. It could be a reason. It could also be that he was just being difficult. But then the Samaritan who saw this man saw some positive thing out of that dead situation. So the first two people were not thinking positive. Why? Because they did not think to make anything good out of a dead situation. It's good you run into church to preach. A congregation of people may be waiting for you and stuff like that. But then, could saving one person who was on the place of death do something more? Positive thinking. Positive thinking. Positive thinking. So being positive is being constructive in a situation where, even if let's even say, for saying sake, even if this man had done something wrong and had been beaten to the point of death, a positive thinker would stop and administer aid instead of criticizing. Stop and give some help to that person, and then after that move on, kind of like the Good Samaritan did, right? So to be positive is to have a positive connotation about everything. Even if people are judging, you still stand and be positive. You do not that you like evil, but you understand that there can always be something good out of nothing. As a matter of fact, that is why some of us are called saved, because as it's written in Romans, scripture says that God didn't look at our sins. If he had seen and looked at our negative situation and judged us, he probably wouldn't have come to save us. But the scripture says that even while we were still sinners, killing people, taking people's wives, doing all sorts of negative things, being violent, even at that point, Jesus came to die. right? So he made positive out of the hopeless situation. So to be a positive thinker is one that changes negative situations into positive situations. It's one that can see where everybody has rejected, grab, and make use of it. That is a person that thinks positive. And if you do that, you get healthy. You get healthy. That is one area of positive thinking. I just hope that I can open up my slides. My computer is acting up. But yes, that is one area of being positive. The other thing is that to be positive, you have to not just be constructive, not just judge people and help them out, but you have to be supportive. A positive thinker is a supportive thinker. It's a person that always lends a hand, supportive. According to my dictionary, we're just going by dictionary here. Supportive person is a positive thing. Doing supporting something is being positive about situations. If you're always on the negative side, always disagreeing, you are not being positive. You are being what? Negative. But a positive person is one that supports. That being says not that you support evil, no, but you choose what you support, and that's what positive. To be positive is also to be reassuring. Positive also means to be reassuring, to have a reassurance, to give assurance onto things that are around you, to be reassuring. If you are a positive person, if you think positive, people that come around you are reassured, and you project a vibe of reassurance. People look at you and they feel positive. They feel the vibes of hope, of some kind of an edge to move on, and encouragement to move forward. Reassuring. That is being positive. And to be positive is the negative, or the opposite of negative. Being negative, we cannot talk about thinking positive and not mention what negative thoughts may be. So being negative in itself is also something that is very serious. Very serious. Some of the ways we become negative thinkers is when we doubt all the time. When you are always doubting. When all you do is to doubt. You never believe in yourself. You never think about anything positive. You never believe that there is anything good that can come out of your situation. All you do is doubt. You never believe in anything at all positive for you. That is negative. Being negative. So being negative is the opposite of being positive, obviously. But being negative can also make you sick. Being negative can make you sick. People who are negative all the time are sick all the time. People who are negative all the time definitely will be sick. Why? Because you are not projecting a healthy aura. Your surrounding, the body listens to your own speech. It listens to your mind. And if your mind is one that projects negative energy, it's only going to be a matter of time, and then you would also receive negative energy and definitely be in trouble. So that is something that we have to definitely be aware of. Being positive, being negative, it's definitely going to bring you into trouble. Being negative is definitely going to bring you into trouble. Now, I also want to say that for anybody who is watching, I don't want to say that I have been able to think positive all the time. We got to be realistic, right? So put your comments in there. If you have any comment, just make sure you share it, because we definitely we want to be as practical as possible, right? We don't want anybody to think that thinking positive is something that is easy. No, it is not an easy thing to do. But that being said, we still want to make sure that we have the comments that you have. Bring your ideas, and let's think about them together. Definitely about that. All right. So that is that about negative, being negative, and we want to move forward. So let me see if I can project my slide. I think you can see my slide right now. And the first one, I think we have already touched on the definition of what positivity or positive thought is. It says being favorable, approving, being in the affirmative, and all that. So that is one, and we want to make sure that we are all on the same page. So being positive definitely means we are definitely approving. We are in the affirmative. We're thinking good. We are being constructive. We are being enthusiastic. We are being supportive. We are reassuring, and we are also supportive, encouraging, and corroborative. Right? That is what being positive is. All right. The next one, I think that I also put down is. Let me see if I can get my slide to work here. Yes. So the next one that all right. So the next one is we touched on an idea. What is an idea, right? We touched on what is an idea, and what is thought? Thought is notion. Thought is line of thinking, belief, a concept. That you may have convictions, opinions, views, impressions about life, your image that you form, the perceptions. And then I mentioned your perception about life. Your perception about life. It's very, very, very serious. Your perception. How do you perceive things around you? That forms your thought process. If you have stuff about, if you are one that do not believe in a lot of things, it's going to show. It's definitely going to show in the way you do stuff, right? So that is one, perception, your mental picture, how you formulate things. That is your thinking process, how you formulate ideas, how you create assumptions. Two people can be viewing the same thing, right? We can have two people looking at the same thing, same issue, and one of them would say that, you know what, like as I mentioned, this thing is a half full. The other person would say this is half empty. How come two people have two different ideas about the same thing? Kind of like a story we all know, right? In scripture too, when people were sent to spy out the land, and about 9 people said the place is going to consume us if we go. Caleb and his friends, if we go to try and possess this land, we are going to be killed because there are giants in the land. 9 people have one idea, and yet the other one person said, no, we can take it. I think it was 2 people who said, no, we can take this land. Same eyes, they went to the same place, but because their thought processes, as we are looking here, because their thought process is one that is formed on the basis of negativity, they only focused on the idea of failure. Maybe they have been surrounded with failure all the time. Maybe they've been told while they were kids that you can't make it. There's no way you can do this. There's nothing out there that is good for you. Maybe that is all they have heard. And because of that, that informed their thinking. So they were negative. So negative thoughts or thinking negative is something that comes out of all these processes. Your concept of life, your abstract. When we read an article, we give you the abstract, the gist, the summary of what is in the article, and definitely it summarizes what the whole article is about. The methodology, the results, the discussion, the conclusions, all in the abstract. So if you have somebody whose abstraction, whose view of things are negative, they are going to always come up with a negative side. So that is one way people think negative. So moving forward, so then how do we make our thoughts positive? How do we make our thoughts positive? So we know what positive thinking is. We know what thinking is. How do we merge the two? How do we merge the thought which is positive to that the positivity that we need to have on our lives? How do we merge the thinking of good things so that our lives will become positive, our whole being become positive? Because remember, without thinking positive, you are definitely going to have ill health. So thinking positive is what is going to give you health. All right. So moving forward, now I'm going to say that thinking or thought process is an act of work. Thinking is an art of hard work. That's what I call it. Thinking is hard work. Thinking is definitely hard work. I'm telling you, if you don't believe me, believe science, because I'm not just making it up. According to science, when the body consumes any amount of food, when you eat a lot of food, or when you eat a chunk or most of your glucose, the energy that comes from your food is used on the brain. The brain works hard because remember, when you are doing anything, the center of control is the brain. Yes, we know the heart is good, the heart is hard working, but the brain, because of the thoughts that go on, consumes a lot. The neurons in your brain firing here and there, bringing neurotransmitters, chemicals from this place to this place to form your view of life. That is hard work. As a matter of fact, I think it's the hardest work. Lifting weights and running may be hard, but the brain works harder, I think, in my opinion, at least. And I think I'm supported by science according to what we are seeing here, right? The brain works hard because it uses a lot of the energy that we take in. So thinking is hard work. And I have my own quote up there, that thinking is work. It's an active and deliberate series of work or actions that produce a set of unique results. If you are thinking right, the thoughts that you have can take you from point A to point B. So thinking is serious work. So if you are watching us and you don't think, you just let things fly by, you let things just go, fall in their place without you thinking about them, your life is going to be a mess. People who don't think have a messy life, because thinking will give you results. Thinking comes or produces results, and that's my next point there. Thinking produces results. It produces a set of unique results. If you think one way, you're going to receive unique results. One form of results. If you think another way, you're also going to get another form of results. So thinking definitely is serious work. So lazy people do not just sit without doing anything. They are lazy from the mind because their mind hasn't been able to formulate plans for them to move and follow through the mind's order. They just sit down and don't think. But anybody who is hardworking started working in their brain. The brain caused them to move and told them that do this, do this, do this. And because of that, the brain is the center of the results of everything that we have. Everything, whatever you chose to do in school, whatever you chose to do, where you chose to live, where your husband or your wife you chose to marry, everything came from the brain. Of course, the woman will tell me, no, it also comes from the heart. Yeah, but the heart and the brain comes together to make that decision, right? So the brain is a center of produce, and what you produce depends on how you think. You think negative, you produce negative. You think positive, you produce positive. And the thing is that, one thing is that when you are thinking, you may not know, but you are definitely making up what your life is going to be as a result of what you think, because the brain yields unique results. So that is there. And then also, a man, according to scripture, a man is what he thinks he is. A man, so I said scripture says that what? Just as a man thinks, even so he is, right? The way you think is how you are. So if you think rubbish, definitely, excuse me to say, you're going to become rubbish. If you think positive, you're going to become positive. If you think right, you're going to live right. If you think violence, you're going to be violent. So whatever produce that your mind gives you, that is how you become. So thought is work, and it will definitely produce results. Whatever you think will produce results. It will show either directly in your own actions or through the influence that you give to other people to show. But definitely everybody's brain produces results because the mind works hard. And then the reason why we want to hit on this is that we want to make sure that you think right, because when you think right, then you're going to be more fruitful. You're going to bear the fruits of righteousness. I'm talking about health here. You're going to bear the fruit of very perfect health. And as we move on, you will understand why. All right. So let's move on in the interest of time. The other thing is, if we know that thinking is hard work, then how do we choose the kind of thoughts we have? How do we choose? We already said that being positive is all these things that you can see on the screen. That is being positive, right? But it doesn't just happen. You have to choose, because you choose where to work, you choose where to go to school, you choose who to marry, you choose where to live. Same idea. You have to choose what we think. The sad thing is that we have so many influences all around us. Your TV is telling you how to think. Your parents are telling you how to think. Your friends are telling you how to think. Your society, in fact, where you live, the norms of that society are going to project to you the norms of the society. They're going to tell you that, hey, this place, this is how we do our thing, and it's accepted norm. So society is bringing its own influence. Your family is bringing their own influence. In fact, your body is also going to also suggest to you, especially, I'm talking about sexually. Your body's going to tell you, hey, man, you're not married, but you can't stay by yourself. You got to sleep around, man. Or woman, you can't do that. You old. Yeah, you've been old and you're not married. You gotta just turn around. You can't just be like that. Your body is speaking to you. So everybody is projecting an influence. Everybody is projecting an influence on the mind. But certainly, it is what you choose that will become the fruit you bear. So you got the chance to choose, and this is what I like about God and Christianity. He gives us the chance to choose. He's not made anybody a robot. You get to choose what you want to become. Whether you choose to be in heaven or you choose to be hell, whatever, it's your choice. Nobody forces you. And as a matter of fact, it brings a huge burden, because now you got to make sure that you make the right decisions. You make sure you make the right decisions, no matter the influences that are around you. So for you to benefit from your health, for your mind, in terms of how you think, you have to make a conscious and deliberate effort to choose what to think. Because all the things will flow. Your TV, your radio, the music you listen to, the people around you, your friends, your schoolmates, people who don't even know you can see you and give you ideas. Thinking. What are you thinking? Which ones are you taking? Which ones are you assimilating? Which ones are you going to actually formulate as your pictorial concept of life? Which ones are you going to actually accept as a way of life? Remember when we talked about the definition of thought? The way you do your things, which ones are you going to actually conceptualize and assume as your own? That is what makes you who you are. That's why it says that as a man thinks, that is how they are. All right. So having known that thinking is hard, now the problem, or I should say the challenge, is how do you choose to think? What do you think? What do you allow in your mind to dominate you? Because that is what is going to affect your body. We are for this talk, we are basically relating it only to our health, but it affects everything: your relationships, your belief system, the way you do things. Everything is going to be affected by what you think. So if you don't think positive, everything is going to be affected by the negativity that is so much in you. All right, so let's move on in the interest of time. Again, if you have a comment, I just want you to hit the comment. Also, hit the like button. I am not seeing any comments yet. But yes, definitely hit the comments or the like buttons as we move forward, so that we can have a fruitful discussion as we go. All right. Let me see if I have any comments. I don't see any comments yet. But definitely, I'm still learning the software, so there may be comments that I'm missing. But if you did say something and I haven't seen it, definitely going to respond if I don't see it before the stream is over. Definitely respond later. But you can send it on the other platforms. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. We on Facebook, several places. So share the stream so that other people can also enjoy in our discussion. All right. So that is what we choose what you think. That is what we talked about. Now let's move on. The next one is studies what actually are the benefits of positive thinking. Having known that what is positive thinking, and the fact that thinking is hard and thinking is hard work. And now that we have also been exposed to the fact that we have to definitely make deliberate, conscious efforts to choose what we think. Now, let's show you one reason why you should do that, and that is a topic that we chose, that the health benefits of positive thinking. All right, so several studies have shown a link between thinking positively and your health. It is out there. You can go anywhere and look for them. That is, it's a well-known fact. I'm not making this as a new statement. It is known. But why is that? We're going to talk about why. But before we do that, some of the things that thinking positive help you do is to help you lower your blood pressure. Thinking positive helps you lower your blood pressure. Definitely helps with your blood pressure. Thinking positive does. Thinking positive does. You know, thinking positive helps you lower your blood pressure. Now, we're going to explain why in a second, but let's move through. The second benefit of thinking positive is that it helps with weight control. Thinking positive helps with weight control. The weight that you have been struggling to lose, if you begin to think positive, you are going to lose weight. It may sound like, for real, just think it can make me lose weight. Yeah, scientifically it is. And we're going to go there. We're going to talk about how that happens in a minute. But that is to let you know that if you're struggling with weight, one of the things, I may say, I shouldn't say that's the only thing, but one of the things that help you to lose weight or to have, healthy weight is to have positive thinking, to think positive all the time. The other thing is thinking positive helps, modulate your blood glucose levels. Thinking positive, make sure that you have blood glucose levels that are good. So those of you who are dealing with diabetes and you can't control your blood sugar, begin to formulate a new form of thinking right now. Begin to think positive. Begin to have a conscious effort at working on how you think. And then see and watch yourself definitely improve your blood sugar levels. So thinking positive improves your blood glucose levels. And those who don't have diabetes, but you are up there, you are age over 40, age over 30, and your family members have it, begin to make sure that you do these things, because those will help you prevent you from being diabetic. Thinking positive helps you control your blood glucose levels. And then also, thinking positive improves your heart health. Your health in terms of your heart, your coronary artery diseases will not happen to you if you are a person who thinks positive most of the time. Your health, your heart health, I should say, is improved. Most people who think positive, who have positive outlook, I should mention that, because thinking positive basically includes an act of thinking things positively, and then another act of actually having a positive outlook on life. Those are two things, but we can merge them in this stream. So if you have positive outlook on life, then according to medical literature, you improve your heart's health. You are less likely to have heart diseases, coronary artery diseases, or heart attacks. You are less likely to have those problems because you have a positive outlook on life. You think positive, all right? The next one is thinking positive actually prolongs life. And that is actually a reason for all those things that we have mentioned, right? If you are not getting a high blood pressure, if you are not getting overweight, if you are not getting diabetes, if you are not getting heart disease, then obviously you're going to live longer, right? Right. As simple as that. So people who have made it a point to definitely choose to think positive in the face of negativity. I'm not talking about when things are good, but when things are even bad, they are able to have a positive spin on anything, any life situation. Those people live longer than people who are always complaining, people who always have a negative response to any life situation, whether good or bad. There's always a half empty cup, not a half full. Those kind of people don't live as long as people who have that positive outlook on life. So thinking positive definitely prolongs life. And the other thing is thinking positive also improves the quality of life, even for those who are terminally ill. For people who have been told, hey, you have a month to live, to live, and you're going to pass because of this and that and that. Even those people, when they are able, even in that difficult moment, to bring themselves to think positive and to look out on a positive outlook, even in that negative situation, those people have better quality of life. As a matter of fact, some of them even live longer than they have been given because of the mind, the power of the mind. The mind dictates to the body and say that no, this body is not going anywhere. Because of the way, the positive energy that is coming from the mind to the body, it helps the body heal. Some people will cure their diseases from today as they watch this stream because of the way they are, or they're going to start thinking. So thinking positive definitely will improve the quality of life of the terminally ill. And for some people, they will not even die. I challenge you. I've heard stories of people who were told by doctors, oh, you're going to die in 2 years, in 1 week, and those people are alive today. Pretty much not because they did any miraculous medicine, but maybe with prayer, obviously, and also a positive spin to the life that they had. All right. So thinking positive definitely makes that happen. Now, the next one is the brain. Apart from those health benefits that we've talked about, let's move a little bit towards the mental health aspect. And then we also link the reasons why thinking positive makes you healthier. So the brain produces what we call serotonin. It's a neurotransmitter or something in the brain, a chemical in the brain, which we typically call a feel-good hormone, right? A feel-good hormone in the brain. Kind of like dopamine too. And what it does is when you are somebody who thinks positive, you release more of the serotonin. So you feel good all the time. So anybody who is on the positive side, who has a positive spin on life, who has a positive outlook on life, who is able to bring themselves into making good out of every negative situation, that person has an increased level of serotonin neurotransmitter. Or in short, a serotonin chemical in the brain, the feel-good hormone, that makes them feel better. It makes them enjoy life better. So kind of like somebody taking an antidepressant, right? Most of the antidepressants that we use to treat depression contain this chemical called serotonin. And some of them, all they do is that they inhibit the body from breaking down or digesting serotonin, so that serotonin will stay along longer in your brain and you feel good more. That is how we treat depression for the most part. So if you have a way for you to increase your own serotonin levels, you're going to enjoy life more. You're not taking any medicine for depression, and yet you feel happier. So people who have positive spin on life, you go ask yourself, you go look at them. See those people, they are always happy. They make things, feel good about them. Everything about them is always good. Why? Because they got a positive spin and their brain is responding, releasing the feel-good hormone, the feel-good neurotransmitter called serotonin. So they are cheating all the rest of us who are thinking negative and always being afraid and stressed. We are all in this life, and yet some people are enjoying more. Why? Because of the way they think. So thinking positive increases your serotonin levels and makes you feel better. Your depression can go down. As a matter of fact, I think I have it on the slide. You feel well. Your overall well-being. You feel much better. You also have less anxiety. You have less anxiety if you think more positive. If you have more positive spin on life, you have less anxiety. If you also have less depression, obviously, because you have more serotonin, right? So less depressed, thinking positive. And then also, it improves your emotional stability. So those people who are bipolar, today they are down, tomorrow they are up. It's something that can be improved on if you have an attitude that, you look out on life with positive attitude, positive spin on life, making sure that you are positive, consciously and deliberately choosing to think positive is what makes you feel that way. Improves your emotional stability. So that is another way thinking positive improves our health. That is another way. Now, before we go on, I want to explain now why thinking positive actually helps with your blood sugar, your weight, the previous slide that we looked at, right? We said your weight control, your blood pressure levels, your heart health, and your prolonged life. I'm going to explain why. And the reason is that there's a hormone called cortisol. If you look at the second point in my slide here, the body releases something called cortisol in the instances of stress, fear, negativity. If you are afraid, if you are scared, if you are negative, if you have a negative outlook on life, the body releases something we call cortisol. And that's innate. You don't have to take any medicine. The body itself will release it. It's a response to stress, called a stress hormone. So when cortisol is released, what happens is that your heart begins to beat faster, because the cortisol is telling your brain and your entire being that there is something scary out there, so you must run. Kind of like being chased. You know how when you are being chased by a dog, I don't know if you've been chased by a dog before. I think I have. You get some energy to run like you've never run before. Sometimes you run, and at the end of a run you say, I didn't know I could run like that. I didn't know I could run that fast. Why? Because cortisol was released, adrenaline hormone was released, and norepinephrine was released. And because of that, you got some kind of energy that you have never seen before, and were able to run away from danger. In the same way, when you live a stressful life, a negative life, a life of fear of the future, a life of fear of the unknown, your cortisol levels increase, they spike. It's telling your body, run on, run. There's something out there that is coming to catch you. I mean, in the simplest form, that's how I should say it, right? That is what cortisol is about. So the cortisol levels increase. And as soon as they increase, your heart begins to run faster, because you got to run from a scary situation. That is what the body is feeling. So you become somebody who is hyperventilated. You're always breathing fast. There's something happening to you, even though you may not tell anybody. But the fact that you are afraid that gas prices are going high, the fact that you are afraid that you may lose your job, the fact that you are afraid that your husband may be cheating on you, and that consistently makes you afraid, your cortisol levels are increasing. That stress hormone is increasing. And when that increases, what it does is that it makes you store energy, because it's thinking that there is some problem ahead. So let me store some fat here and there. Let me store some fat in your body, because there's danger. You may not have food to eat in the future. If your gas prices, you cannot afford gas prices, maybe there's something upcoming that you may not be able to stand. Let me release cortisol, and fat begins to store up. So you gain weight. So compare that to somebody who is stress-free, who doesn't have that negative outlook on life. Cortisol will be less. Cortisol doesn't release. And so it makes sense that those who are stress-free have less weight gain, because cortisol is not releasing. Cortisol doesn't need to be released. They are not stressed about the negative situation in life. They are not thinking ahead and saying that, oh, what am I going to eat? What am I going to... Even the Bible says that, do not think about what you shall eat tomorrow. Let tomorrow think about itself. And yet some people, as we speak, are dreading what they are going to eat tomorrow. They are dreading what they are going to put on. They are dreading the interview that they are going. Just get ready and go, show up. That's all you can do. Stressing about it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't change anything. So that is why people get ill health. They get increased levels of cortisol hormone. They get increased levels of norepinephrine. They get increased levels of adrenaline, basically, and they are constantly in a fear and flight situation. Their body is scared. They may not tell you they are scared, but their body inwardly is scared and releasing chemicals that are making them resistant to glucose. Resistant to insulin. So cortisol makes you resistant to insulin. So the insulin you produce doesn't work because cortisol has been released. Cortisol thinks that you don't need insulin because the danger is up. You need to use your glucose. You need to store your glucose. You can't use insulin. So insulin, glucose becomes a lot in your blood. Diabetes right there because you are stressed. So basically what we want to reach is positive thinking is medicine, because it stops cortisol, it stops those weight gain, it stops those things that would negatively affect your well-being, your health. That is what it is about. So definitely reduce your negative outlook on life, and we definitely stop thinking, being afraid all the time. Now, let me bring you a quote here from the New York Times in 2017. So this thing has been known for a while. On March 27, 2017, this is what was published in the New York Times by Jane E. Brody. It says that look on the sunny side of life. Turn your face toward the sun, and the shadows will fall behind you. Every day may not be good, but there is something good in every day. Every day may not be good, but there is always something good in a day. Right? See the glass half full, not half empty. That is being positive. Right? Researchers are finding that thoughts like these, the hallmarks of people sometimes called cocky optimists, can do more for them, can do more than just raise their spirit, right? They actually improve health and extend life. So you see, the point that I brought up earlier being quoted over here. Improve health, long life. Just by being cocky optimist, being an optimist, being and some people call you are cocky. That's okay, as long as it's not overly out there. If you are being positive, being an optimist, you are getting these benefits. And people may say that, oh, you are always positive on anything, everything is positive. Fine, let them say it. You get the benefits from that. All right. So that is one thing. But we'll have another thing. Also, in James chapter number 2, verse 14 to 26, what does it profit a man if someone says he has faith but does not? Okay, so this is the other side of the coin. Now, some people have taken being cocky, being optimists, as their all and all. They don't do anything else. Some people are professing faith, making promises by themselves for the future. Say that, oh, next year by this time I'm going to be a millionaire. Right? It sounds good. Next year by this time I'm going to do, I'm going to have a wife. I'm going to be married. Good. It's good to be positive out there. Oh, as for me and my house, we will never go hungry. Good. Your faith, I believe that. That is good. That is good. But we don't want you to go on the side of being blindly an optimist. So I call it positive thinking and blind optimism. Positive thinking and blind optimism. Some people have taken it to the next level. They are positive, but they are overly positive. They are saying things that are not realistic. And even if they are not following through with what it takes to get on the other side. All right. So it is good. We want you to be positive. We want you to be positive. But being positive alone is not enough. You got to be positive and follow it up with action. And that is why I post this scripture there. That says that what does it profit, my brethren, if someone says that he has faith and does not have works? Can faith save him? So saying that things are positive, saying positive things by itself alone is not enough. That's basically what I'm getting at here. If a brother or sister is naked and destitute, and you tell them, oh, go and depart, be peaceful, oh, be warmed, oh, I hope that you're going to be nicely clothed, oh, go and be well. That is being positive. All right. But then it's saying that it is not enough. It is not enough to just say that. So being positive is one, but follow it through with works. That's all I'm getting at here. That's also faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. Faith by itself, or being positive by itself, if it is not followed through with works, it's not enough. Your health is not going to be enough just by being cocky, just by saying positive things. Follow through it with other things. Okay, good. You are being positive. Good. But have you gone to your doctor this year? You are 40 you're 45, have you had colonoscopy done? You are 35, you are 40, have you had a mammogram done recently? Have you, when you hit that age that you needed that test, did you do it? All right, we are talking about health here, right? So being positive, it's one, but follow it through with the next steps, which is works. Having faith, professing your faith and saying, I'm able to do this. You know, gas prices may be $4 now, but I believe that I'm going to make it. I'm gonna, my income, though I can't afford gas now, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it through the year. Good. I'm happy to hear you say it. But after you said it, did you look for a job? Did you move forward to the next level? That's this side is actually my wife's idea, but she wasn't able to join. She said, if you talk about this and you don't add this, you have failed your people. And it's true. Some people are going out there blindly being optimistic, just saying it for saying sake. I'm happy you say. I'm not saying don't say it. Say it, please. Because when your body hears it, your body internalizes what you have spoken and begins to work with it. But our point here is that after you have internalized it, make that step. 1,000-mile journey begins with a step. You can't internalize it and internalize all those positive things and stay in your couch and not go and look for a better job. And not take care of your health. And not do the things that you have to do. You don't even know your blood pressure. You don't know your blood pressure. So we say thinking positive and you're happy you are thinking positive. What is your blood pressure at the moment? Are you hypertensive? When was the last time you went to your doctors to check to see if your blood glucose, your cholesterol, and your blood pressure levels are good? When was the last time? Positive man, positive woman, you use the excuse of COVID and you don't take care of yourself. Positive man? No. That is blind optimism. That is faith without works. That is believing and not following through. So on this channel, we want to encourage you, challenge you that whenever you tune up, get something. And this is what we want you to take from today. We want you definitely to profess positivity. We want you to speak out that which is good about life. Don't stay on the side of negative. The negative, you don't have to. People will always remind you. The TV will tell you that there's a shooting here, there is this here, and you'll be afraid to send your kids out of school. The TV will tell you. But formulate a plan to say something in opposition to that. And after that, you follow through with the works that make sure that your kids are safe, right? That is it. That is it. I think we need an applause for that. Yes, that is the point. That is the point. Definitely, we definitely need to ensure that we are making the steps, we are taking the steps to make sure that thinking positive alone is not enough, but following it through with action. Faith without works is dead. Following it through with action. So I'm challenging you. I want you to begin to think positive. I don't want you to say anything negative about your situation. I'm not saying you don't have negative. Everybody has a negative situation. You got something that's biting your heels. That's something that everybody knows. You are the kind of person that nobody seems to like because of your attitude. That's where you are. Maybe your upbringing, the people that you lived with, the kind of abuse that you took. Fine, that is what people are saying. But can you make something positive out of it? Can you change? Say that I'm going to be a better person this year. I'm going to make a new resolution. I'm going to lose weight next year. By this time, I'll lose 3 pounds or 5 pounds. You say it and then you pray about it and that's it. Did you go to the gym? Did you change your diet? So positivity followed with works to make you get to where you are going. And that is what we want to let you live by today. As we bring the stream to an end, I just want to see if there's any comments out there. Unfortunately, my system hasn't been friendly today. Maybe I am the one that doesn't know much about my system. But I want to say, if you have any comments, I think you can bring it on board right now. If there are any comments we can see, then we would be able to definitely take care of some of your questions. If you have a question, if you have a comment or anything like that, we can talk about them. Let me see if I can find anywhere. Um, let's see here. That's my Facebook. So as we bring the stream to a close, my thing is that we want to see that you are positive. You have become positive, and not only have you become positive, but you are following through positivity with works. You are following through with new action, a whole new, what do we call it? A whole new set of mindset that will ensure that you work hard, because thinking is working hard, as we said. Thinking is working hard. Let me just go back, if I may. I don't know if my thing is still on there. Yeah, let's see what we have touched on before we end the stream. Just remind ourselves a little bit and see what we need to do. We have said that thoughts are the line of thinking. Your belief system, your concepts of life, your image of life must be changed. When that is changed, your hunch, I forgot about that word, your hunch, Hunch, that is what forms your perspective in terms of your life. Yes, I see one comment here from Ezra Wellness. And yes, hi to you, Ezra Wellness, Deaconess Salome. Thanks for checking in. Anybody out there, please make sure you also let us feel you are there, you are watching, and if you have any questions, definitely let us see them. All right, so or if you have a comment are welcome. Please, I don't know it all. Please bring your comments, and then your thoughts are also your viewpoint of life, your impression about things. Those are your thoughts. All right, and then we also say that your thoughts are your assumptions, your hypothesis. When you hypothesize about something, those are your own ideas, your belief system. So those are your thoughts, and those are the things that we want you to begin to infuse positivity into. Don't ever assume any negative. Trust me, I don't want to say any negative thing about my situation. I may be called cocky, it's fine. As long as I speak it positive, I'm hopeful that I'm going to be able to internalize that and basically change my life thereby. So that's the whole point. Being positive makes you change. When you speak the positive thing, your body takes it, changes it, and hopefully makes you a new person. So the fact that you are speaking positive doesn't mean you are perfect, but it is not good to stress on your imperfection. It's rather better to stress on your perfections. That way your body will be rewarded for doing those things. And as we have said, there are health benefits, tremendous health benefits to all that. All right, so those are your thoughts. And we also say that in order for you to think positive, you have to infuse those things about thoughts to those things that are constructive, good, enthusiastic, and encouraging. Those are the positive aspects. So when you infuse, favorable, affirmative, good, constructive, enthusiastic, lifestyle into your thoughts, then you have positive thinking. That is basically what we have learned all there. And then we have also said that thinking is work. If you don't think, you are failing in life. Anybody who has failed is a person who first failed to think. Because to move from one place to another, it has to come in your mind. Your mind must assume and believe that I got to move, then you follow through. So if you have failed, it's because your mind has failed, because you haven't thought well. Maybe you haven't even done the work, because thinking is work. So you begin to think, you begin to work hard. And we have also proved that even in science, the brain consumes a lot of your energy intake. When you have glucose, the brain is a center that takes a lot of your energy. That is because there is a lot of work going on in your brains. So begin to think so that your brain will work. Maybe I should say the other way. Begin to think harder and let your brain do more work, because I know everybody's brain is working. And then also we're saying that a man is what he thinks. A man or woman is what or who he thinks. The way you think is how you appear. If you think you are smart, you will go out there looking smart. If you think you are not smart, everybody will know you are not smart. I mean, apart from being cocky and all that, you got to have that perspective, because it's better for people to feel like, this guy he feels he's smart, he's being cocky. It's better that way than for people to say that this guy is dumb. Everything about him is dumb, right? I would rather be called cocky than to be called dumb and slow. So if you if you think about it, thinking is something that is good when you think harder. But then what you think is who you become. So that was another thing that we learned. And then we also learned that you have to choose, because the thoughts are being bombarded to you from TV, from sources, from friends, from family, from society, from all the places you can find, from the internet, from everywhere, on your phone, everywhere you are being bombarded with things to think about. But you got to choose to think positive in the midst of all those distractions that come to you. So that is another thing that we learned. And then we learned the benefits of thinking positive, lowering blood pressure, better weight control, better glucose control. And also we also learned that it prolongs your life. And how, even for those who are dying, thinking may change their outlook. I mean, their terms of death, and prolong their life, or they will have a better quality of life all around. And then we said that because the reasons why we get sick is that when we think negative, when we are stressed about life and have negative outlook on life, we are releasing a hormone in the body called cortisol. As a matter of fact, it's not just cortisol. We have norepinephrine or adrenaline. We have epinephrine. We have all those stress-releasing hormones, all those neurotransmitters that get released when your body is stressed. And those are the reasons why we get sick, when we think negative. So for you to get the benefits of health in thinking, start thinking positive, and then there will be less cortisol released. Also, your mental health will improve, because you're going to get serotonin levels increase. The feel-good hormone, the feel-good neurotransmitter will be increased. Your serotonin will increase. And when it's increased, you feel good. Kind of like taking an antidepressant, but the natural way. All right. And then it improves your emotional stability. So as we wrap up, I haven't seen any other comment on my YouTube. The Facebook, I can't get access to it. I don't know what is happening there. But we'll just wrap up now. We said that this is a quote from the New York Times, that look on the sunny side of life. There's always the clouds and the dark side, but always look on the sunny side of life and turn your face toward the sun, and the shadows will fall behind you. Very powerful quote right there. And see the glass half full, not half empty. And then researchers are also finding that thoughts like these are the hallmarks of some people who we may call cocky, and optimists, cocky optimists, overly optimistic. And yet this does more for them in terms of health, because it may improve their health and prolong their life. So those are the things that we have learned. And we also learned another thing with scripture, also backing what we said, that if you want to, if you also want to think positive, you don't have to be blindly optimistic. You got to go to a level where you have mixed the two, where you know what you're about. It's not like you're just being cocky, you're just saying things, I'm a mighty man, and you when things are happening, you run away. No, if you're a mighty man, face adversity fair and square. Show up that you are strong. Not that you want to show off, but make the steps to show that you are a strong man by doing the right things, studying and show yourself approved. Making sure that you are in charge of your family and all those things. So positive thinking must be mixed with, I should say genuine optimism, not blind optimism. All right, so that is about all that we have learned. And I'm sorry we began the stream with my sister not allowing me to show my slides earlier. But I think in all, we still got all the points out, because I was eventually able to do it. And I want to say that meet us again next week around the same time on Sunday. Times can be 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 4 p.m. depending on how the day goes. and it's definitely going to be a Sunday evening. And we want to thank you for watching. I just want to say that share the stream, even though it's ending, you can still share it to people, and click the like. If you don't like it, the system won't share it to people because they figured you don't like it. So why should they show other people? So make sure you click the like button so that other people may also be shown the stream even when it ends, and they will be able to enjoy it. And don't forget to add comments, ask questions, provide your own perspectives on the things we have discussed. And next week we will meet again. And until then, beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. Thank you for watching, and thank you for coming by. We'll see you again on our live show next week.